The Premier League that, of course, began with Liverpool getting over the line, doing their job on Tuesday at Aston Villa by 2-1. Manchester City responded with another five-star, 5-goal performance at Wolves. Everton got a point at Watford. Leicester got back to winning ways, and Leeds, of course, in deep trouble. Beaten again with another red card, 3-0 at home to Chelsea. And tonight, 3-0 is the same scoreline for Spurs to win the North London derby against Arsenal. So, in terms of that battle for fourth, a reminder, 1 point in it. Glenn's right, the goal difference much better for Spurs. Only 6 points left to play for both teams. Spurs go first on Sunday at home to Burnley. They win that. Arsenal drop to fifth before they go to Newcastle on Monday. As if you need a reminding of the enthralling title race. 3 points in it now with 2 games to go. City are 7 goals better off, and they play next, of course, on Sunday away at West Ham before Liverpool go to Southampton the following Tuesday. And as I say, Leeds are up against it. They have 2 games to go, Brighton at home and Brentford away. Level on points with Burnley, who have an extra game to play. They, of course, are Tottenham's next opponents. There is a scenario on Sunday. If Leeds don't beat Brighton and Everton do beat Brentford, then Everton will be safe, and that 3-horse race will become 2.
Comprehensive win over Arsenal tonight. Just how good does that feel?
No, I mean, it's always good to win, but especially this derby means a lot, and we can close the gap. And I mean, this game was really tastes nice.
Harry, you're now the leading scorer in the Premier League of anybody against Arsenal. To you, what does that mean, particularly on a night like tonight, which could turn out to be pivotal?
Yeah, I think proud of the boys. You know, it was a big night today. Obviously, if they won, they secured the Champions League. So there was pressure on us, obviously in front of our home fans, but we delivered well. You know, we started the game on the front foot, created the chances, and then second half controlled it really well. So yeah, delighted to get the win. Whenever you win the derby, it's always nice. But yeah, there's 2 more games to go. Obviously, we need to focus on them now. Quick turnaround, but a really special night here.
Is that the best atmosphere you've felt in this stadium so far?
I think so. I think you could really feel the anticipation building up to the game on the way to the stadium in the coach. And yeah, you know, we knew we had to deliver. Obviously, we've got the bragging rights, but there's still 2 games to go. The most important thing is the Champions League. And yeah, we put the pressure on them, but yeah, we need to focus on ourselves. We play early Sunday, so if we can get a result there, then we can wait and see what happens.
Sonny, we saw Antonio Conte hugging you, talking to you. He was coming up. Have you forgiven him yet for dragging you off?
No, I mean, obviously I want to play always, but yeah, no. What can I say? It's a manager gave a decision, but I need to accept. Yeah, he said we have an important game on Sunday, so that's why. So it's nothing big deal. Obviously, at the moment I'm not angry, just disappointed because I can't move, but I move on, and Sunday another game.
You respect his decision because he's the manager, but quite simply, do you feel there's more goals for me out there?
No, not really. Obviously, I just want to keep playing. I mean, there's not 100% goals. I mean, there were 1 man less, but I just want to continue to play. But look, when I look at the back, we have an important game on Sunday, so I need to be ready. I need to recover, to be fresh again, and to help the team.
Harry, for the first one on the pen, you switched sides from normal. What was the thinking?
Yeah, no, I haven't been that side for a while, you know. Obviously, my regular side is to my left, but, you know, I practice them in training all week, and I like to feel where I'm feeling good, and, yeah, just felt that was a better one today. Obviously, I've took a few against Aaron for England in training, so, yeah, I thought he was going to go the way he did, and thankfully I was able to put it away.
Sonny, you...
Obviously, I couldn't see it because I was down. I was down, so, but, I mean, look, either the ball is coming or not, but... Look, I mean, we have a VAR, so if there was no yellow card, probably VAR checked this, but...
It's not in your hands, of course, it's in Arsenal's, but is it quite clear, as you said, you've got a huge game on Sunday. Is it about getting all 3 points and putting the pressure on Arsenal?
Yeah, absolutely. We can only control our games, you know. We've done our job here tonight, and yeah, we play early Sunday. If we can get a good result there, it really puts the pressure back on them. So yeah, we're not getting ahead of ourselves. We know tonight was important. We know tonight was a special night, but like I said, the ultimate goal is to get that 4th place, and we've still got work to do.
Fabulous stuff. Well done tonight, boys.
Yeah, thank you.
2 errors really cost the side with the penalty decision and the sending off. What were the thoughts in the dressing room about both of those decisions?
To be honest, I prefer not to speak too much about those situations. I have my opinions, and I think yeah, it was a tough night for us, and yeah. So, but it's gone now. We have to look forward and be ready for Monday.
Is this a point with just 2 games remaining that in times of adversity, a young team, the youngest team in the Premier League, need to find their way out of difficulty?
Yeah, if we lose one game, lose a derby, of course it's tough. But as I said, still in our hands. 2 games to be played. If we win those, we've done our goal. So yeah, that's the focus. We have to look forward, and new game on Monday. That's all.
We had Tim Sherwood, a former Tottenham manager, at half-time on our show, and he said even he wasn't sure that the elbow was conclusive from what he'd seen for what was a sending off. He thought that might be quite harsh. There was also a moment, I don't know if you were anywhere near it, in which Son and Holding were together, and there seemed to be a shoulder from Son into Holding. A lot of the Arsenal forums are talking about that right now. Did you see that, or has anyone talked about that in the dressing room?
No, I didn't see that. But as I said, it's done now. I think in a lot of situations we didn't get anything. Yeah, we didn't have the luck with us today, but it's gone now, as I said.
Coming into this match, it really felt like this was a Europa League final because these 2 teams are now so exciting. Arsenal really competing for that Champions League spot, really for the first time since Arsene Wenger left the club, to really be back in it and growing. How much can you take from that to take you now to Newcastle for what's an enormous game for a big atmosphere, and then back home for Everton, who are also fighting for their future?
Yeah, of course. Big motivation still in our hands. We lost today and it's tough. We will be disappointed tonight. But that's all. I still have everything in our own hands, and that's good. So we'll focus on Newcastle now and strike back on Monday.
Mikel, what are your thoughts on a really disappointing night for Arsenal?
Well, to do an evaluate, if I say what I think, I'm suspended 6 months. So I cannot say. I'm allowed to give my interpretation of what happened in the game, but I don't know how to lie, and I don't like lying, so I prefer not to say what I think.
From the way you say that, I suspect that you're unhappy with some of the decisions that went against you, in your opinion. Would that be correct?
I cannot say what I think. I will be suspended.
Okay, then. Are you unhappy with your players?
With my players, no. I'm so proud of my players.
That answers the question for me, then. Will you talk about, first of all, the penalty decision and then the second yellow card? Or are you concerned?
You can ask the referee to come in front of the camera and explain his decisions. His decisions. I make mine, that's his decisions.
Unfortunately,
it's a shame because such a beautiful game was destroyed today.
Unfortunately, Mikel, though, we can't talk to the referee. If we go to the second yellow card, it's clear what you think of the decision, but should Rob Holding have showed more composure having already been booked?
The decision is made. Cannot change it.
But does he give the referee a choice to make, a decision to make? Has he got to be cleverer there?
The referee has to make decision in a reaction in football.
OK, this isn't going anywhere in terms of decisions. I understand what you're saying there. When he sent off, Ben White looked like he was going to get ready. Was he never an option for you tonight, Ben White?
To take the risk in the situation that the game was, it didn't make any sense. And now focus on Newcastle. That's our focus. This game is history.
Do you think Ben White will be fit for Newcastle? Because obviously you've got no Rob Holding, and also, how bad does Gabriel look?
He felt something, so hopefully Ben will be fit, and hopefully we recover Gabi, because if not, obviously we don't have enough players in the backline.
In terms of tonight, has there been much damage done psychologically, do you feel, to your players?
Again, this game is history for us. I just say in the dressing room, now it's Newcastle. This is gone. We know how it went out of our hands, and we have to accept it, and now go to Newcastle and be the team that we are, the team that you've seen right from the beginning in this stadium.
Is that easier said than done, though? Just how flat are they?
No. This is very acceptable. You lost a football match in the conditions that we lost them. It's painful, but that pain cannot be sustained because we have a huge match on Monday, and now talk about the excitement of playing against Newcastle and try to beat them.
Although it's still in your hands, this victory for Tottenham, does this hand them the momentum? And of course they play before you as well.
We have 2 games to play each of us, and as you said, it's in our hands, and we have to do our job.
What have you got to show to win both games?
What we showed from the beginning in this stadium, the same.
I understand you're angry. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure the atmosphere was amazing, and for this reason we have to tell thanks to our fans, because They were incredible from the start until the end. They pushed us a lot. I think we repaid their faith with a good win. Good win because you won an important derby, but especially because now we are very close to them on the table. Only 1 point. There are 2 games to go, and for sure we need to have to recover very well because we are going to play on Sunday at 12 o'clock. An important game against a team that they have beaten us. For this reason, I was very clear with my players. Try to enjoy, to celebrate in the right way, but at the same time we have to think on Sunday. Otherwise, this win, you won a derby, but it will be important this win if we are going to win on Sunday against Burnley.
Harry Kane has an extraordinary record from the penalty spot now. When you get a penalty and he steps up, do you simply expect him to score?
Yeah, but he's very accurate, and because in every training session after the training, stay there to kick penalty. And honestly, I want finger crossed. And I have never seen him to make a mistake. When I go on the penalty, honestly, I'm very calm. I'm very calm because I know that he's really good, not only in this aspect, because I repeat, we're talking about a fantastic striker, and I hope I repeat now to have another good game on Sunday, and our fans they are going to play an important role, because they have to go together on Sunday to play against Burnley all together, and we are very close. We are very close to reach an important target for us. We stay behind 1 point, but you know very well in England, no easy game for us, no easy game for Arsenal.
What did you say to Sonny to forgive you for taking him off?
Yeah, but and for sure, and Sonny wanted to continue to play and to try to score. No, yeah, but I had to think not only in this game, but I had to think that we need a player to recover well, fresh player, especially in the role with Sonny and Kulusevski, Lucas, Bergwijn. That role you spent a lot of energy. And for this reason, I had the possibility to make a substitution to give them a bit of rest, and I did this. And but now, and for sure, he promised me on Sunday and to score.
You can certainly feel the momentum Tottenham have got on the back of that draw at Anfield as well. That had such an effect at the top end of the table.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one question mark we've had against Tottenham, is playing top teams in the top, 4 or 5. Can they get results? They've done it this season in a way. 2 draws against Liverpool, beating City twice, and now getting the win against Arsenal.
Does the manager affect that, do you think?
I think he does, Even with playing against 10 men, they didn't come out of that back 5. I thought he might have been a bit more progressive, and this is what we do when we've got one man up. It wasn't. It was defend deep. Harry Kane was still dropping in deep there, and they just said, well, see if Arsenal can get back in it. We'll hit you on the break. They are a better side when they're enticing teams onto them, so they can break. And I think with Tottenham now, there's an added string to their bow with a sense of Mora coming on and Bergwijn. We've got good changes from the bench. When the opponents are tired, Mora runs with the ball. He's a bit different. He's got a little bit of change of pace. He draws fouls. He works hard. He presses people. So there's a nice little combination. Slightly different to Kulusevski, who likes to pass and play slightly different. So there's some options there from the bench, and you saw that tonight.
With 10 men, when Son scored too early in the second half, was there a oh my goodness moment there from you that it could have got nasty for Arsenal?
You started to feel a little bit, because when it went down to 10 men, you could see we were a little bit ragged. The thing with Spurs is that Spurs are not going to all of a sudden start to open you up with play through the midfield. So What I was more disappointed with is the ease in which we kind of handed that game to him. Penalty was a soft one. You know, him getting sent off kind of handed the impetus over to Spurs. And like I say, Spurs are not that kind of team. They're not going to be like a City where they're going to pass you to death. So they could just sit in and just take the time with what they were doing. And in the end, you know, we couldn't lay a glove on them, really. We couldn't really break them down, because what you want from Spurs, and like you watch Spurs against City away from home, against Liverpool away from home, is they play like that. They play on the break because they've got quality forwards, you know, in Harry Kane, in Son. So they can afford to, like, they'll drop off and then they'll hit you on the break. And what we ended up doing there with Arsenal is because we gave them that penalty, then they got their second goal. Spurs didn't need to do anything. They need to come out and play and do anything. So then Arsenal couldn't really get into them because we couldn't get ourselves going. But at the same time, you know, I was expecting a different game. A bit patient and then give them some problems, but it didn't. The way the game panned out, it's simply because of the way the goals came about and the sending off, it kind of handed them the game for me.
Yeah, I think first 10 minutes, Arsenal were the better side. They had more of the possession in Spurs' half. Spurs couldn't get hold of the ball, and I'm thinking this is going to be a really tough game. But I think the lack of discipline in the end, you know, holding, as I kept saying at half-time, we'll have a look, the straight balls up. As a defender, sometimes you just got to hold your ground. You know, then he goes and he's been booked, then you go and do that, what he did. Just let the ball wasn't even getting to Son. The ball was overhit from Dyer. And that's a lack of professionalism. It's like, I don't know if it's the heat of the North London derby, I don't know, the willingness to want to win.
I think he was scared of him, Gaffer, right?
Yeah. But he hadn't got, on them 3 occasions, Ian, he hadn't got turned and was running at him.
No.
He was like, not his ball to win, I'm afraid. If that's a youngster coming to the first team and making his debut, he was saying, no, just stand up, let him knock it away, and then if he spins, go with him. Don't try and attempt to win that ball. There's no danger. And I don't know why Holding, he wanted to get tight all the time and go through the back of players. Here, straight ball, look, he didn't need to try and win that. Then he kicks him a little bit in the back. And I think the referee's gone, all right, I'll give you one, the straight ball up again. Don't need to win it from there. You're not going to win it from there. If you've got a good, you know, if you've got a good striker, they're just going to get their body in between again. And in the end, the ref goes, no, I've had enough now. Look, he goes 3 tackles. Look, 3. And now he's got to change his game. That's the thing, when you're on a yellow and you're a defender and you want to get tight and you want to do, you can't do that anymore. And now this is ridiculous. It really is. It's a lack of discipline and doing the right thing at the right time. And the referee saw it.
I just think that when you're going to play like that against Son, I think that what Tottenham said was, let's just keep giving him it. Because what's going to happen is that this is probably going to happen. You're going to get booked at some stage because, like I say, he looked like he was afraid of Son, and why wouldn't you be? He's an amazing player. And they just kept feeding the ball down to him. And in the end, like the referee said, it was 3, and then the sending off, he couldn't complain. You know, he couldn't complain about the sending off because he was running towards him, he headed him, so it was horrible to see.
Right, he's not happy, but one man who is.
Like, you know, it's big Harry Kane there. I don't want people not ask him a question because it's Arsenal and I'm gutted about it. It's Harry Kane there, man. You've got to ask him something.
It's tremendous to have him join us live as well. And ironically, Sonny's ahead of him in the scoring chart.
Yeah.
He looked
a little bit
disappointed. No, but I think Son was really
listen, he could score 2 hat-tricks. Would that put him in the next 2 games? No, I mean, yeah, it would be ironic if he's handing it over. It's a good question you asked him there, Steve. And
take me all night then, to be fair.
But the thing is,
got there in the end.
As we said before the game, there's no penalties for Son.
Yeah.
21, and you know, no penalties. That's some going. It really is. Normally, there's a penalty taker when you're 20 plus.
You start taking them to finish it off.
Yeah, but he's got no chance with that fella around. 20 out of 20. And as you said to him, that was a key moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They hadn't had an effort on target when he scored that penalty in the first half.
No, that's right. They were finding it hard because we'll look at it in a minute. El Neni was told to shield and screen in front of Harry. There wasn't as much space there until they went down to 10 men. So it wasn't an easy. No. The penalty was a massive turn. You know, the 1-0 going up, and then for Arsenal, this is the ball in. It's a lovely ball in, you know. And there's Cedric just you know, goes straight into the back of Son. The problem is sometimes when you go down to 10 men and it's 0-0, or you're 1-0 up, it's a different game then.
Yes.
You've got something to hold on to.
Yeah.
They go 1-0 down, then they go down to 10 men. That is when you're in trouble. There's the knock. He knows it's over the top of Holding. He can't get there, so he's actually come into the back of him. Because I think Son would have headed that and probably scored.
You know, when the more I look at it, I'm thinking to myself, instead of just like he's not done anything. His body's in the wrong position. You know, I almost think just let him head it and see where we go from there, rather than give away such a soft penalty. So then, you know, you've got Harry Kane, like you said, 20 on the spin. Somebody you're thinking he's probably not going to miss. Before you know it, you're 1-0 down and you're kind of doing okay in the game. Yeah. And then you give away a soft goal like that simply because what? You're out of the position, your body's turned wrong, and then you've nudged him. You're going to catch that. You're going to get that on VAR. I'm disappointed with that.
The big decision is Holding's decision after being booked for me. That changes the 1-0 down. So what? After what, 20 odd minutes or whatever, you get back in the game. But then when you go down to 10 men and you're one game, you've got to sort of have an eye on, well, we've got to come out and play a little bit. We've got to hang on to them, make sure the second doesn't go in. Well, they were all over the place from the set play, from the corner. Yeah. You've got to say, you've got Nketiah on the back post in a zonal. He's probably never marked there in his life. No. Holding's off, who probably would dominate. Ødegaard, I don't know what he was doing on Davis. He gets dragged out of his position. Look, and there's Bentancur just strolls into a little space in the 6-yard box. Look, Nketiah ball watching. Harry Kane does fantastically well. Little flick, back post, boom, in you go. And now you're 2-0 down with 10 men. Yeah,
you see, it's moving when everyone else is. Look, Harry Kane's the only one really moving forward. That's just like people, like he said, you get 5 of those a season, but you sniff that out. If Harry Kane doesn't move, he doesn't score that.
Ian, you would know more than anyone, but as that ball's in flight, that's when every Arsenal player will have their eyes on the ball. As it's being taken, you can still have a look at where your attacker is. But as soon as it's in flight and Harry Kane doesn't make his movement until the ball is halfway, and every Arsenal player, most defenders in the world will be doing it, you'll be looking at the ball then, and that's when he makes the movement. Look, ball's in the air, he's moving now. It's even a defender in there would find it hard, let alone the young Nketiah on the back post. That is perfect movement. Yeah. Any striker like yourself, you wait for that ball in the air, and just bang, make your movement then.
And like he said, and it's something that kids should listen to. I remember George Graham used to say it to me, it was my job to make sure any corner, it does not get past that back post. That's what Harry Kane's done there. And it was very clever the way he just eased out of the main melee of things. So as people not, where's Harry Kane? He was right out of it, almost getting himself in a position where he might be picked up. And then the ball in was great, to be honest, Gaffer. And then he just done what he does. He sniffed that goal out.
In terms of Harry Kane in open play, you kept an eye on El Neni in both halves, trying to sniff out the threat when he drops in.
Well, like we saw it, Gaffer, that was the ploy for Arsenal. Stop the ball into him. Look how many times he's looked to him, Gaffer.
Yeah.
You know, look, he knows where he is, and look, he's stopping it. And even if he goes up, he's saying, pick him up, make sure you pick him up. Holding then gets hold of him, so you can see that they kind of got Harry Kane marked up, and there he is there, El Neni, heading it out. And this is the second half.
Well, this is when you go down to 10 men, you can't cover every angle. Sanchez comes, look at the gap there. We think Xhaka comes out tad too early. There's no danger there if he plays the ball to Kulusevski. So there's the hole. El Neni can't do what he was doing first half. Harry spins it falls to Son, and there's game, set and match 3-0. And that is the difference. They're the little things. When you're down to 10 men, you can't keep covering every blade of grass. There's always, you get a spare man in the end. And it was the ball into Harry Kane in the penalty area that caused the problem, really, for that goal.
And that was goal number 21 of the season for Son.